Welcome to Wow Crochet yet again for another tutorial. My name is Mary and in today's tutorial we are working on this gorgeous little placemat. Not just a normal placemat but a Christmas placemat to match our current pattern that we made for our coaster, our Christmas coaster. Now, if you want to make the Christmas coaster, you will find the link to the Christmas coaster in the description box down below. It'll be the second link you come to because the first link is the link to our current giveaway, and all the details, I'll have that for you at the end of this tutorial anyways, but you must be in it to win it, guys. It's still on, but it will close on Sunday the 25th at 10 a.m. Melbourne, Australia time. So you've got to be in it to win it. But in the meantime, what? Isn't it gorgeous? I love, love, love. Now you can pop your dinner plate on there, or as you saw before, you can pop a little plate where you can have your peanuts or your dip and biscuits and carrots and whatever else you want to put on your plate. But how gorgeous does it look? I love Christmas, don't we all just love it? Guys, I'm not going to talk too much because once again it's a long tutorial. The yarn I used was the one I used for our previous tutorial with our coaster. Let me just pop the coaster out the way for a minute. And that is this 8-ply Kringle sparkle value ball, whichever you want to call it. My favorite of the pack obviously is the red. You guys know I'm a red girl. It is an 8-ply, so it's actually a number 3 overseas. Okay, so there you go, guys. Now this yarn did call for a size let me get a close up for you so you can see. There we go, a size 4mm hook. Okay, so yours truly did actually use the 4mm hook. Okay, you will need your scissors. I'm sorry guys, you'll definitely need that darning needle because we change colors in every round. You will need stitch markers, maybe 2, maybe 3, depending on what you want to do. And that's about it. I don't want to say too much about it, but I do want to say the amount of yarn that I used was only 28 grams. That is minimal. I didn't even use not even a quarter of each skein. I used a little bit more for the green, I have to admit, and I used a little bit more for the red as well. But the white, the white was just like a tiny little piece like that. Very minimal. It's very lightweight and it has its matching coaster. How lucky are we that we can actually produce such gorgeous pieces of work? So I'm not going to talk anymore, guys, because, my tutorials do go a long time. But I want to thank you so much for watching and good luck making your Christmas placemat. Good luck, guys. Alrighty guys, we are going to start off with a quick slip knot. That's grabbing your tail end, wrapping it around your finger once and twice, holding it there. Leave a nice long tail. It's just easier to work with when a tail is longer. Now you've got the 2 loops here and you're holding it there and there. Pass your back loop halfway over, hold it there, pass the other loop all the way over, pop your hook in that little loop and give it a tug. Alright, and there you go. Now we're going to chain up 4, and a chain is yarn over your hook, pull a loop through once, yarn over twice, yarn over 3 times, yarn over 4 times. Yes? Alright, now we're going to slip stitch to join. That's slip stitching to that very first chain that we made. So pop your hook in that chain, pull a loop through, just giving your work a big tug down here. You should have that little thread in there. You need to have your thumb and finger in front of that because that's the space you're going to work into. So pull your loop through, chaining up 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now in that space there that we made, you're going to put a double crochet. That's yarn over your hook, pop it in the space, pull a loop through, and you should have 1, 2, 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through the last 2. Now before we go on, so you know where to pop your hook in later, I'm going to do something with you. Now that space right there that we did, see how we did the chain 4? There's the chain 4 is really tight in there. Your chain 3 is right there next to it. All right, grabbing your stitch marker and popping it in your chain 3, which is next to it. I probably should have got you to put it in before, but it's harder to hold your work and put a stitch marker in at the same time when you're at this stage of your work. Okay, so what we're going to do, pop the hook back in. And now that you've kind of made your little space there anyway, it's easier to work with, chain 1. All right, so what this is like those 3 chains are classified as double crochet, chain 1. This one is double crochet, chain 1. So you've actually got 2 there now instead of just 1. So you're going to do it again, double crochet, chain 1, and that's number 3. Oops, too close. Sorry, guys. Okay, so double crochet, chain 1, and that's 4. Do your 5th one. 5, chain 1. 6, chain 1. 7, chain 1. And what we need to do is 12. Okay, so we've got 7, just give everything a push over. 8, chain 1. 9, chain 1. 10, whoops, chain 1. 11, chain 1, and 12, chain 1. Now before you slip stitch, just pass your little tail end at the back. You don't need that anymore. That can go right at the back. We're going to weave that in later. All right, but before you slip stitch, make sure you do actually have 12. So you're counting, you can actually count your V's normally, but we can count our posts in this round. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So you've got 12 posts. That's exactly what you need. All right, so what we're going to do now is slip stitch in that stitch marker stitch. Okay, so you've chained your 1 here, then you grab your hook and you place it in that, I hope yours is not as tight as mine. Place it in that tight stitch right there and take out your stitch marker before you pull your loop through. Okay, because it's going to be awkward to pull it through this tight stitch. Oops, take out your stitch marker, pull your loop through, and then pull it through to the loop on your hook. Pulling up a loop, guess what you're going to do? You're going to cut this yarn. What? Already, they're saying? Already. Alrighty guys, so now we're going to use our white. Alright, and what we'll do with the white is, see that normally whenever I cast off and I restart again, I join a yarn in a different spot. But in this case, I'm going to leave it in the same place just so that you can see what's going on. Our double crochets in this round will be in the spaces, okay? So we're going to pop our hook in the space just after where we cast off, all right? Leave that there, grabbing your white. This might be too close, sorry guys. And I'll make this tail a bit longer. And just pulling a loop through, grabbing your tail end and just passing it over the front. Just helps you lock it all into place. And we're going to crochet over it for the first 2 stitches anyway. So there we go. All right. So, no, that's not too close. So what we're going to do now is chaining 1. You know how to do a chain 1? Yes. And in the same space, you're going to do a single crochet. And a single crochet is pop your hook in the space, pull up a loop. You've got 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2. Now, with this single crochet comes side stitch. You're going to pop your hook in that side stitch, pull a loop through, and you're doing that single crochet on top of that side stitch. So it looks like a tall double crochet, okay? Grabbing your stitch marker, and you're going to pop it through the stitch that you just made. So that's 2 loops on top. I think I've already split the yarn. I do this in every tutorial. 2 loops on top, and then just close up your stitch marker and continue on your merry way. And you're doing a double crochet in the same space, which is yarn over your hook, pop it in the space, pull up your loop, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through the last 2. Now with your little tail end, you can just pop it at the back. This will be classified as your first 2 double crochets. So in this space here, you're doing 2 double crochets. So yarn over your hook, do your 1 double crochet, which you know how to do now. Do your 2nd double crochet, all in that next space. Easy? Best part is, that's what you're going to do in every space until you come to the end of your round. Okay, it's a very basic stitch in crochet here. Okay, super easy this part. I love the first 2 rows. After that it gets yucky. Well, no, not really. It's not too bad. Listen to me, yucky. All right, just continue with your double crochets, 2 in every space. We're almost near the end of the round. Two and 1. Don't do the last one because I'm going to show you what we're going to do with that tail. 2 and 1, the green tail, by the way. And 2 and 1 and 2. We've got 1 more space left to do. All right, now if you played your cards right, so while we're here we'll count, you should have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, because you're going to put 2 more into that next space, making it 24. Okay, so you should have 24 double crochets at the end of this round. So see that tail there? I'm going to grab it in the back of my fingers, put my yarn over the hook and crochet over the tail with our normal double crochets. 1, I've dropped it now. You only need to put, hold on to it for the first stitch, and 2. All right, and by the way, we are going to weave those ends in as well. Okay, so there's your little stitch marker. What are you going to do? You're going to slip stitch into that stitch right there. Easy. Pull up a loop. You guessed it. We're going to cut again. And they're saying, not again. Oh yeah, that's what it's all about. Giving everything a nice big solid tug, because we eventually want this to lay flat. It's going to be a placemat, so we want it to lay nice and flat. So what color are we going to use next? You guessed it, red. Alrighty guys, firstly what we're going to do is take out that stitch marker. Shh, you didn't see that. Oh dear. Now what we're going to do next, oh that's too close, sorry. We are going to do single crochets, chain 3, single crochets, chain 3 in our round all the way through, but we're not starting from where we left off. We're just going to start from the first stitch afterwards. All right, so grabbing the tail end of your red and just pulling a loop through like so, grabbing your tail end, passing it over, kind of locks it all into place. Okay, chaining 1, and then you've got a single crochet directly in that space, so pop your hook in, pull up a loop. You've got 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, holding it there. You need to pop your stitch marker in the 2 loops of that stitch. Hopefully I did not split that yarn. Okay, I don't think I split the white one, by the way, before. There. Chaining 3, 1, 2 and 3, skipping over your 2 double crochets, hopping into the space of your next and just doing a single crochet. Super duper easy. 1, 2, 3, skipping these 2, jumping into your space with a single crochet. 1, 2, 3, skip, jump, and 1. That's all you need to remember. 1, 2, 3, skip, and 1. All right, easy, easy, easy. 1, 2, 3. Nice and quick. Let's get through this round real fast. And then we can get on with our more important round. 2, 3. You're thinking, what is she on about now? Oh, sorry guys. Can't make everything easy for you. 1, 2, 3. That would be unfair now, wouldn't it? It would be boring. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. We are nearly at the end of the row. 1, 2, 3. Love how this is a nice quick round. 1, 2, and 3. So what we're going to do now, grabbing your white end, this is your next space. You're going to crochet over that white end. You don't need to, but that's what I do. Popping my hook in, pulling up a loop, and doing a normal single crochet over that white end. And then 1, 2, 3. And now you're going to slip stitch right into that stitch we just made. I think I did split that stitch because I can't feel it separating. So if you didn't split your stitch, go ahead and do your slip stitch. I'm going to take my hook stitch marker out. It's just a really tight stitch for me. Look at that. Look at that, so tight. Pop your hook in, pull a loop through, and pull it through to the loop on your hook, and that has closed your circle. And now you're going to, yeah, you guessed it, pull up a loop. Sorry guys, you do have a lot of weaving in, but you know what? It's Christmas at the end of the day. You want it to be bright and bubbly and nice, and so giving everything a tug so that it's not curling on us. And what colour are we going to use, guys? We're going back to the green. All right, guys, now with this round, it's a tiny little bit tricky, but not completely difficult, okay? It's not really, no. Now there's your tail end. I'm going to leave that tail end right there. We're going to work in these spaces. You're going to pop your hook, not in that first space you see where the tail is, but just go into the very next space after your tail, grabbing your green, passing it through, and just pop your tail end over just to lock it all into place. Just going to pull it through. I've got too much tail there. It's good to have a little bit of tail, not that much. Chain 1, 2, 3, and 4. Holding it there, you're going to grab your stitch marker. What we're going to do now is we're going to crochet over that tail, and we're going to be doing trebles. And a treble is yarn over your hook twice. Sorry, that stitch marker can be a little awkward. So yarn over your hook twice, popping it in the space, pulling up a loop, and you should have 1, 2, 3, 4. Yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over, pull through the next 2, yarn over, pull through the last 2. Just moving all that over. Doing it again twice over your hook, popping it in the space, pull up your loop. 4 loops, yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over the next, yarn over the last. Doing it again. And this is your last time in this space. 4 loops, yarn over, 2, yarn over, 2, yarn over, 2. So you now have 1, 2, 3, and your chains here will act as a 4th one. All right, so you've got 4 trebles in your first space. You're going to do 4 trebles in your next space. Over your hook and do your 4 trebles. Okay, so it's not difficult, but it's not completely easy. If that makes any sense. It's just a little bit more fiddly than the regular double crochet, that's all. And it actually elongates the stitch for you, okay? And there's your 4th one. So that is pretty much all you're doing in this round. You are putting 4 trebles in each space you come to. I'll grab another stitch marker. Just going to pull up that loop a little bit. And when you get to, see that last space right there? I'm going to pop a stitch marker in that space for you. Grab your stitch marker or even a piece of thread, whatever you have in that space to remind you to stop when you get to that stitch right there. You're going to go off on your own. You're going to do your 4 trebles and you're going to get there and wait for me there. That's correct. Now, if you don't know how to do those trebles, just rewatch the video again, what we just did right now, and I will meet you when we get to that orange stitch marker. Alrighty guys, here we are at the end of the row. How gorgeous does it look already? Oh, I love Christmas colours, I really do. Okay, so there's our last space. You can take that stitch marker out now. Now the reason I didn't want you to do your last one is because, like I usually do, I'm going to hold that tail end at the back. We're going to go yarn over our hook twice and do that last set crocheting over our tail end. It just helps us easier when we are weaving in those ends later, and nothing sticks out and annoys you in front while you're working on your piece if you don't want to weave in ends as you go. Now normally I do 1 row and then I weave in ends, okay, but because we're doing the tutorial today for you, I'm not going to do that yet. All right, so that's where you are up to. You should have 4 trebles in each space. Go ahead and count, make sure you've got your 4 trebles. I've already counted mine, so I'm going to leave mine as is. The next part will not work if you don't have the exact amount of trebles, so make sure you've got 4 in each space. Now that stitch marker right there, all you're doing is popping your hook in that stitch marker. Yes, you can take the stitch marker out. So pull your loop through to that stitch there, pull it through to the stitch on your hook, and guess what? You're gonna cut it again, and you're thinking, no more ends. Oh well, get over it. Get over it, guys. You're thinking, what? She's so naughty. We are going to change to our white. But before we do, and like I said, I was talking to you about ends. I'm going to show you one end. One. And then when you join me back after this next round that we do, you are going to actually have weaved in most of your ends. Let's try that white one right here. How's that? Because it's only a very small bit of crocheting in. So just thread your needle like you would any crochet project that you do, or knitted, or whatever project you are doing. All right, see how we've already crocheted over the white, and you may not have crocheted over it, but I did. And if you haven't, you need to weave this in 3 times, okay? So what you do is you just get a tiny little bit of yarn, split it, go back through the same way you came in, but make sure you split a bit, otherwise your work's going to unravel, the first part that you did when you crocheted over it. Check to see if you can see your needle in front, and you can't. So what we do is we grab that needle and just popping it through. Once. Now we crocheted over it once, we've sewn it in the second time, and now we're going to go through it the third time, again splitting in a different area. As some people go up and down, in and out, that's fine, whatever suits you, but I just want to show you that as from now on, I would like for you to weave in your ends as you go. That's done 3 times now. We've crocheted over it once and we've sewn it in twice. That's 3 times. That is not going to come undone in the wash. Okay, so give it a cut. Just give it a gentle tug and it just hides itself inside the stitches that you just made. All right, that will hide. Trust me, it will. There it goes already. All right, so there you go. I want you, after the next round, when you come back to me, to have all these ends weaved in. But for now, we're going to start you off with our very next round. And that next round is pretty basic again. All right, what you're going to do is grab your white, or whatever colour you're using, whatever colours you're using. Now, I would like to actually crochet over that tail. So normally I'd say go in front and we'll do it at the back, but I think I will still do it that way. That tail belongs to that chain right there. All right, so we're not going to work in that one at all. That one we're not working in either. We're going to work in the very third one from our tail. So skip that one and jump into there. All right, now grab your white, pulling it through. Pass a loop over as we normally do, chaining 1, and then we're going to do a single crochet in the same stitch. So single crochet like so. Yes, and you guess it, we're going to pop our stitch marker in there because we will need it for slip stitching at the end of the row. Okay, grab your tail, pop it at the back, chain 1 and 2. You are skipping 1, you are jumping into the next stitch like that with a single crochet. Chain 1 and 2, skip 1, single crochet in your next. 1 and 2, skip, single crochet. Okay, 1 and 2, skip, single crochet. All right, this is what we're doing all the way in the round. I'm not going to let you head off on your own because it'll be a nice quick round. 1 and 2, skip, next. Skip, next. All right, what I might do, 1 and 2, is just speed up the process and you'll just see it going in fast motion. Okay, and I'll meet you at the end of the round. Alrighty, how did you go? Skip, and your next one should be your very last stitch. So pop your hook in there, and the reason I wanted to do this one last is so that we can pop that tail at the back and do a single crochet over it. The reason I do that is not just because it's easier to weave in, but because you kind of lock that tail into place. It's not going to push forward and annoy us, okay? So 1 and 2, and now you are slip stitching directly into that stitch, the last one that we just did. Whoops, should have taken that stitch marker out first. There you go. All right, so that is what you've got. And guess what? Grab your loop, pull it through. Oh dear, more ends. I know, right? Just giving your work a nice big tug. See how it's popping out and all that? That's just all these ends. We need to weave those in, and we're going to do that on our very next round. All right, how gorgeous is it looking? I love, love, love. We are going to go back to using our red. Now, once again, this one here, a little bit of a tricky round, not difficult, just a tiny little bit tricky. Once again, we're going to start, we can start in the tail end, but we're not going to. We're going to start in the space, okay? I'm going to pop our hook in, grabbing your tail end of your red, pulling the loop through, just passing that little tail end forward so we can crochet over it. Remember the trebles that we did in this round here? You're going to need to do trebles and double crochets in this round, so it can be a little bit tricky and it may get a tad confusing, but it's not difficult. So with your treble, you're going to chain your 1, 2, 3 and 4. So do 1 treble, yarn over your hook twice, pop it in the space, pull up your loop, 4 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through your last 2. Pop your tail end at the back if you like. Oh no, actually don't. We'll crochet over that one just in that very next stitch. Now, just to yarn over your hook once, okay? Your trebles go in this space, but in every single crochet you come to, you're going to put a double. So yarn over your hook, pop it in your single crochet. So you're crocheting over that tail as well with a normal double crochet. All right, you can pass that at the back if you like. So now you're putting 2 trebles in your next space. Yarn over twice. Pop it in, doing your 1 treble. Twice, doing your 2nd treble. There. Next stitch is to pop a double crochet in your single crochet that you did in the previous round. And there you go. All right, next one, you're doing 2 trebles in that space. That's all it is, okay? 2 trebles and a double crochet, 2 trebles and a double crochet, all the way across the row. So there's your 2 trebles in the space and your double crochet in your stitch. 2 trebles in the space, and double crochet in the stitch. All right, so what I would like for you to do, and you're thinking, what? Yeah, I want you to do this round by yourself. Come on, have confidence. But not only that, if you want to rewatch this part of the tutorial, you can. All you're doing is putting the trebles that you did in this row in the space, just 2 of them, and doing a double crochet in your single crochet. Do that all the way around, get to your very last space. I'm going to pop a stitch marker in just before your, in fact don't, get to your last single crochet right there, just before that space, because we're going to do that weaving in again. Now, before you come back to do this part, I would like for you also to weave in all these little ends, except your very last white one here, which we're going to crochet over. Okay, so go ahead, do that round, and I shall meet you up. Alrighty guys, here we are at the end of the row. I'll just take that stitch marker out. I've already popped in a double crochet there. I need to pop in 2 trebles, whoops, in the space before the end of the row. Okay, it's 1 and 2. Okay, and I need to put in a double crochet in that stitch right there. Let me get a nice close up so you know what I'm doing. Okay, just a normal double crochet in that stitch there. Yes. All right, let's have a look what we've got. Now, yours truly, naughty me, forgot to put a stitch marker in that red one, or it's come out, one or the other, but it's not there. I must have forgot to put it in. I'm sorry, guys, but we'll work it out. It's not that difficult. Now, I'm going to crochet over this tail. We're going to do our last 2 trebles in that space there. So there's your 1 treble. and your 2. Okay, but don't think that's the end of the row yet. We still have that single crochet right there. Okay, we haven't done anything with that. We're going to pop our normal double crochet in there. Just a double, not your treble, just a double. And now here we go. See that stitch up there, the very, very small stitch that you can't see. And I wished I'd pop my stitch marker in, and I do apologize, guys, because this thread is really thin. I'm just going to do that so you can see it. I can actually see it, but I want you guys to see it. There's a really, oh, you won't be able to see it anyway. Sorry, guys. There's a really tight stitch there. Just pop your hook in. It doesn't help when you've got this little sparkly yarn as well. It really doesn't. All right, my hook's gone through the 2 threads. And all you need to do is pull your loop through, pull it through the loop on your hook, pull up a loop. You guessed it. More weaving in ends. Sorry. And we just weaved in all those ends too. If you haven't, this is what the back should look like. Now I forgot to mention that one right there. If you haven't weaved in that one and you just cut it, oh, that may come undone. Hopefully it doesn't for you, but you do actually need to weave that center tail in. All right, now this round here, very, very basic round. You're going back to your green, and with the green we're not using, it's not going to be as prominent as that green there, so it's only going to be a row of single crochets. There's going to be a very basic row, this one. All right, so what you have there's your stitch right there. That is a stitch, but we're not going to pop it in there. We're going to keep that for the last stitch. We're going to pop our hook in the very next stitch right there, grabbing your green and pulling the loop through, passing your thread over. Very basic row, like I said. Chaining 1, single crochet in that same stitch that you are in, like so. Don't forget the stitch marker. Doesn't matter which one you put in as long as you're putting one in. Okay, I do like to keep the orange ones for you know, the stitch before, so you know what you're doing, but I think we'll leave it for now. All right, so single crochet you've done there. Now if you like, which I'm going to do, I'm going to crochet over a bit of that tail end, single crochet in your next stitch, single in your next, and you guessed it, the very next, and so on all the way across. I'm going to drop that tail now and just keep going with your single crochets all the way across the round. Okay, super duper easy. I'm going really, 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 really fast because I don't really want you to sit here and watch me doing it. In fact, what I'm going to do is let you head off on your own, finish your row of single crochets, meet me back over here, and I'll tell you what we're going to do next. Alrighty guys, here we are at the end of this row. Oh my gosh, does it not look gorgeous? It's like a pancake. It's a pancake. Can't take me anywhere. All right, so I actually wanted to show you this part because I didn't want you to mess up your stitch count. We need to have 72 stitches at the end of this round. All right, so what we have here is a single crochet. We're going to be putting a single crochet there, one there, and then one in your chain stitch. All right, so there's your single crochet in that. Let me get a nice close up so you can see them. There's your single crochet in that loop, those loops right there. So it's actually a space, one, and there's another one right there. What we're going to do though is just pop our tail across here, pop your single crochet over your tail like so, and now you have that chain, you know, when we first started off with. Just pop it anywhere where you see it look like a chain. Okay, now slip stitching into your first stitch, pulling your loop through. Just take that stitch marker out now. Pull up a loop. Yes, guys, we're cutting. Sorry. We are cutting. All right. Now at this stage, what you should have is that it may like have a gentle lift, but not like this, because if it's like this, there's something not right with your work. Oh, sorry, I didn't pull that through. Pull that through, Mary, naughty girl. So there. Now we're going to have a bit of a pattern change. Okay, we're going into a lace look, and then at the end we'll go back into a solid look again. Now the reason I wanted lace, I just wanted it to look a little bit more lacy, kind of looks Christmassy, yeah? Even though we've got your Christmas colours, but for some reason lace tends to look more like Christmas. Don't forget to weave in those ends. Yours truly is not doing them. That's why I've got some bubbles under there. So I'm so naughty. I'm so naughty. But there you go. All right, so what I'm going to do We have a round of single crochet lace look, but what we're going to do, see that tail end, popping your hook in your stitch, grabbing your white, pulling it through, tail end over, you know this part, you do it in every round, chaining one, and in the same space you are doing a single crochet. Okay, now grab your stitch marker, anyone you like. Okay, I think I might have split the yarn there, but that's what I say every time I use the white for some reason. It's a bit tricky, the white. Grab that tail end at the back. All right, now counting is really important in this round. You should have 72 single crochets to start off with. Okay, we're going to count 5 chains. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, but when we count across, we're going to go single crochet 1, 2, and 3. We're going to put a single crochet into our 4th single crochet. Okay, it's going to be a little tricky with numbers here. So counting 5 chains, 3 across, popping your stitch in your 4th chain, your 4th single crochet. So I'm going to make it sound a little easy. All you're doing is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 3, and into your 4th with a single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3 into your 4th with a single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3 into your 4th with a single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 with a single crochet. All right, so go ahead and do that round. Get to the end of this row and I shall meet you up. Don't forget, guys, you are still weaving in your ends as you go now. Okay, so go ahead and do that round and I shall meet you up on the last 3. It'll be 3 stitches off the end of the round. Okay, so go ahead and do that round and I'll meet you up there. Alrighty, guys, here we are at the end of the row. Right, what you should have left is just the let me get a nice close-up for you. Just the 1, 2, and 3 single crochets left. That's your tail. Okay, that's all you should have left. If you've got more or less, you've made a mistake with your count. Go and check that out. If not, and everything's fine, all you're doing is going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now normally I would do 2 and then double crochet in there for this particular pattern if I'm not going to change colors. But for now we're going to change color in each round, so it doesn't matter. So we're chaining our whatever it was, 5, and slip stitching into our 4th stitch. And no, I did not split that stitch, which is good. Okay, pull up our loop. Yes, we're going to change colors again. It's Christmas, guys. We have to make it gorgeous. Taking out your stitch marker, grabbing your very next color, which I believe is the rosso in Italian, or red in English. No, we don't have many Italian followers. I just said it to say it because, hey, I'm Italian. All right, so grabbing your red. Now with your red, you don't need to start where you finished off. You start in the center right next to it, in front of it, behind it, it doesn't matter. Weaving in these ends here are going to be tricky, so I'll show you that later. But for now, don't worry about weaving in. Just do these next few rows this way. Chain 1. Let's get a nice close-up. I went into the center of that space. Oops, done a chain 1. Now we're going to do a quick single crochet just over that chain and your thread, like so, grabbing your stitch marker, popping it into that stitch because you're going to slip stitch into that later. Yes, pop your thread at the back, chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm lying, let's make that 6. 6 single crochet in the middle of your next stitch, like so, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 single crochet in the middle. This is super easy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 single crochet in the center. Just keep going. 3, 4, 5, 6 and single crochet in that center. And yes, that is all you're going to do in this round as well. So now not only do we have a nice solid look, we're going to start to get a little lace look as well, because I believe Christmas needs lace. So continue in that round, get yourself to maybe, I don't know, here, or no, actually get yourself to, grab a stitch marker, because you don't want to double up, all right? We're already in, I find this with most of my chain, with most of my lace stitches, that sometimes we double up. So we're already in that space, okay? So move your hands right over to this space here, moving all that thread out the way, and popping your second stitch marker, whatever color that is, there, okay? And do your single crochet in there and wait for me there, okay? Easy round. Alrighty guys, here we are at the end of the row. Now I said pop a single crochet in the place where you've got your stitch marker, the green one, not the orange, just the green. Take that out, or whatever that is, blue, aqua. I'm not colorblind, I promise. Okay, so now we've got 6 chains across again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, ordinarily I would have chained say 2 or 3 and did a double crochet across. That way we would have been in the center, but we don't need that because we are changing colors in every round. So just do the 6 chains and slip stitch into your stitch marker stitch like so. Pull up a loop, and yes, you guessed it, we're cutting. You're thinking, oh, so many ends. I know. Take out your stitch marker. All right, and that's what you should have. Your work may buckle a tiny little bit. That is normal, okay? But if it's like this, there's something not right, okay? Just be wary of that. If you flatten it out like this, give it a tiny little stretch, and it lays nice and flat like that, then you're in the right spot. Now, grabbing your next color, which is, what is it? Green. Hello. I had the wrong color out. I had the red. I was going to keep the red there and not use the green at all. So grabbing your green. We're going to do the exact same round, except we are chaining 7. Okay, so you're starting to get a picture here with the lace, and we are starting right there. Alrighty, so you grab your tail, you pop it through the center, as we've been doing all along. Pattern is about to change, by the way, guys. Yes, it is. Sorry. Chaining 1, 2, 3, and 4. Grab that stitch marker. Oh, I'm sorry, is that too far? How's that? You are popping a stitch marker in. Gosh, I've done that chain really tight. You know what? Let me do this again. You didn't see this, did you? Just pop that one back in. I'll whisper so no one knows I'm doing it. Pop your stitch marker in that stitch, by the way, guys. Here we go. Chaining 1, 2, 3, and 4. A little bit loose now. That's better. And there we go. Ah, so much better. Shh, you didn't see that. All right. So now, oh, that's too close, isn't it? So now what you're going to do, you're going to do a treble stitch. Now you've done those here. You're going to do one more treble stitch there for the moment. So yarn over your hook twice, remember? Pop it in the space. We are crocheting over the tail, by the way. Pull your loop up. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 loops on the hook. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through the middle 2, yarn over, pull through the last 2. Move that over a little bit. You're going to chain 1 and 2. You're going to drop that tail now, I think. We have another 2 trebles to put in here, but because we've got our chain 2, it's going to leave a little bit of a space, so you might be able to see the tail. So pop it at the back for now. Yarn over your hook twice, pop it in the space, pull up a loop. There's your 4. Yarn over once, twice, and 3 times. Do it again. Super duper easy, yeah? Well, okay, not if you're new to crochet. This can become a little bit tricky. So now what we're going to do is do our treble again, but we're going to jump into the very next space. So pop your hook in this space and doing your 1, 2, and 3. And you're going to do another treble in the same space. Chain 1 and 2, and another treble in the same space. Chain 1 and 2, I'm sorry, treble, hello, and 2, 2, and 2. So let me show you what you've done here. 2 trebles, chain 2, 2 trebles in the same space, then you chain 2 to get out. then you did 2 trebles, chain 2, 2 trebles in the same space, and now you're going to do chain 2 to get out. So really all you're doing is 2 trebles, chain 2 all the way across, but you're doing 2 in each space. All right, 2 sets in each space. So I'll show you again, just for the next 2 spaces, chain 1 and 2 to get out of the space, and now you're doing 2 trebles. Chain 2, 1 and 2, and then 2 trebles, 1 and 2. Once again, sorry about that noise, guys, it's the stitch marker on the board. Okay, so there, chaining 1 and 2. All right, I'm pretty sure you get the picture. All right, if not, just keep watching these 4 sets. I'm lying, there's no 4 sets there, there's only 3. 1, 2, 3. Hello, I can't count. So keep doing all your sets all the way across. Get to your last set here. Let's put in that aqua. I won't call it green or blue. Let's put in the aqua. Get to your last set and I shall meet you up. Alrighty guys, here I am at the end of the row. Okay, let's get a nice close up. Oh, it's already there. I forgot to take it down from before. All right, now I'm going to be popping my last cluster set in there. Well, before I do, I'll take out my aqua. Pop that in there like so. And doing your normal treble. Did I do my chains? Yes, I did. Okay. Chain 1 and 2. And doing another set right there. And another set right there. Oh, that's the last one. What am I saying? That's our last one. We need to chain 1 and 2. All right, so here we are. We need to slip stitch to our orange stitch marker. Okay, so grabbing your stitch marker and just popping your, oh dear. Let me take that stitch marker out. How annoying. Oh gosh. Pull your loop through, pull it through to the loop on the hook, and guess what guys? Pull a thread. You're gonna cut. Sorry. Sorry. You're thinking, oh, there's gazillion ends, oh no. As you can see, yours truly has been weaving in my ends as I go. What is left is the green. Grabbing your white. As you can see, I've played with it. Yes, I have reason behind this. This is my 3rd attempt at making this. You're thinking, what? The first attempt I did perfectly, but I decided to change the pattern halfway through. I went back to the 2nd attempt and did the pattern properly, and then realized I even made a mistake in the 2nd attempt. So I had to do it again. So let's go and do this one more time. All right, so what we're doing here, very basic row you're gonna love. Pop your hook in any space you like. It doesn't matter. Grabbing your thread, pulling the loop through, tail end over, chaining 1, single crochet in the same space, and you are going to stitch mark it. Oh, that's a good word, stitch mark it. All right, now you're going to pop that little tail at the back, a little bit awkward with our stitch marker, and you are going chain 1, 2 and 3, single in your next space that you come to. Yeah, let me get a close-up so you can see that again. Chaining 1, 2 and 3, skipping over your 2 trebles, single in your next. Chaining 1, 2 and 3, skipping your 2 trebles, single in your next. Chain 1, 2 and 3, single in your next. You're going to do that all the way across. Super duper easy. Yay. There you go. Super duper easy. You are going to chain 1 all the way across, and you are going to pop, oh, here we go. Let's grab that little aqua stitch marker, pop it in the space just before. Get to that stitch marker right there, and I shall meet you up. Alrighty guys, here we are at the end of the row. Oh, let me take that stitch marker out. Okay. Let's get another little close up there, that's better. Grabbing that little tail end at the back there, like so, popping a single crochet over that stitch, like so, and then chaining 3. 1, 2, and 3. And then what you're doing is you're slip stitching. Oh dear. Oh fine, I'll take the stitch marker out. It's too tight. Slip stitch into that nice tight stitch you have there, and that's your first loop and your second loop of that tight stitch. I'm sorry guys. All right, and then just pull your loop through, pull up a loop, and give your work a cut. Coolio. Pull that thread through. Don't forget guys, you need to start weaving in some of those ends. Yours truly is weaving in some of them, but not the last 2, and I'll be doing that after the next round, which is getting rid of your white. I've even got the red sitting here waiting for us to use. Okay, so where are we with our little knot? Right there. Let's get a nice close-up. All right, there's our knot. We're going to pop our hook in front of our knot. Yes. Then we're going to grab our little red, pull the loop through, pass it forward so we can lock it all into place. Oh, too far. Chaining 1, 2, 3, and 4. Uh-oh. Stitch marker in. You guessed it, we're doing trebles again. Now remember, we popped our first, oh that didn't close, try that again. We popped our first stitch in there, so our last stitch will end up in our single crochet. You're wondering what we're doing? We're doing exactly what we did here. We're doing our trebles in there. We're going over our tail, like so. There's your second treble. Now in this one, we're doing a third treble. In the other round, we only did 2 trebles. But in this one here, we're doing a third because we have a larger amount of chains there, all right? And in the next stitch, we're doing a double crochet. Do you remember that round right there? Okay, and in your next space, you do 3 trebles, all right? So it's pretty much the same as that round that we were on. Sorry, my yarn got tangled there, sorry guys. And that's your second treble, your third treble, and then double crochet in your single crochet. Let's try that again. 3 trebles in the space. 1, 2, 3, and a double in your single crochet. So it's super duper easy. You know, because you've done it all before, you know what you're doing. You are putting 3 trebles in the stitch. I'm sorry. 3, try it again, Mary. 3 trebles in your space, 1 double crochet in your stitch. 3 trebles, 1 double crochet, trebles, crochet, trebles, and so on. And grab your aqua stitch marker or whatever color you're using, pop it in there. And guess what, guys? You're going to continue in that round and meet me right back here. Good luck. Alrighty guys, here I am at the end of the row. I've done my last double crochet in that single crochet stitch. Let me take out my stitch marker. Now, we want to grab that white tail and we want to crochet it. You don't have to, but I would like to crochet over it. So I'm going to hold it in my fingers at the back there. And I'm going to do my 3 trebles in that center over that thread, like so. 1, 2, 3, 1 more. 1, 2, 3. I'm sorry. 1 more. Hello. Can't count, can I? Okay. Now, if you remember correctly, we started off in a space. Let's get you a nice close-up. We started off in a space. So we actually need to put a double crochet in that last single crochet stitch. So just do your normal double crochet in that stitch, like so. Then, all you're doing is slip stitching. Oh, here we go, here we go. It's not going to let me do it. Oh, we're in. That's good. All right, so you are, like I said before, there's threads everywhere. We've got to weave those in. You are slip stitching through the stitch and into the stitch you're in. Pull the loop through. Yes, give it a cut. But you're going to be excited in a minute, guys, and I'll tell you why. Guess what? I think you only have 1 row to go. What? They're so excited. What? What do you mean? Okay, let me show you exactly what I mean. There's your placemat. Yes, and there is your coaster. This is the coaster we made. Oh, there's Puppy Cuppy, by the way. Isn't he so cute? Here's what I use on my lives. That's right, guys. I do lives on Wednesday afternoon at 4 p.m. Melbourne, Australia time, and Saturday morning, 10 a.m. Melbourne, Australia time. And this is the cup I like to use, this one and Kitty Cuppy. And we made a coaster last week in this particular yarn, exactly the same yarn that we have here. And now we're going to make the matching placemat. So when I said the last row, this is the row you're looking at and you're thinking, oh, it looks so difficult. It's not. Trust me, it is simple. Very, very simple. It won't be as pointy as this one. This one's got higher points on them, but it'll still have your points in the round. Now, what we did in the last tutorial, that we are going to do exactly in this tutorial. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to start with, these are your trebles in here. They're your double crochets and your double crochets, right? This is your first treble. We're going to start in a first treble of your treble sets. Okay, if you don't want to start with near the chain that the slip stitch we just did, grab a treble, well, grab a treble set that is, one of your three, and start on the first one, if that helps. All right, so grabbing your tail, pulling a loop through, yarn over, and chain one, single crochet in that same stitch, and that is your first treble. Yes, whoops, we're going to pop a stitch marker in there. We need to slip stitch to that at the end of the round. Okay, that's your first treble. I'm not going to crochet over that end because I want you to see this part. Your second treble of your 3 treble set, let's get closer. Your second treble of your 3 treble set is where we do that extra point. So you're popping your single crochet in that second stitch, and then you are chaining 3. 1, 2, 3, and it's not a picot. We're just going to pop another single crochet in the same stitch. Yes. Then you're going to put a single crochet in your next stitch. That's 1 after your middle, 2, 3, and 4. On your 4th stitch, if this helps you, which is actually the middle of your 3 stitches, you are doing your 1, 2, and 3. And then single crochet back in the same stitch. And then you're continuing 1, 2, 3, oops, I split that stitch there, that's no good, 3, and 4. And that 4th one, you're right in the middle of your 3 stitches. Chain 1, 2, 3, and single crochet there as well. And then it's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And you guessed it, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and a single crochet in the same space as your 4th one, just to lock those 3 into place. And then you go 1, there's 1 in there, nice tight one there, 2, 3, and 4. I think you get the picture. Chain 1, 2, 3, and a single crochet straight back into that 4th right there. Let's pull that loop up and show you what you're doing. Is it not gorgeous? It's going to look pretty much the same as your coaster. I love, love, love. So what I would like for you to do, this is the best part, head off on your own, doing your very last peek, which is, that's no good. Let's try that. There you go. See your 3 double crochet, see your 3 trebles. You've got 1 treble there, 1 treble there. Pop your stitch marker in that second treble and continue in the round. Wait for me there and get ready to sort out what's going to happen next. Yay, very excited. Catch you up. Alrighty guys, here I am at the end of the row. I have just done my very last little kind of picot looking stitch. I'm going to put a single crochet 1, 2, 3 and 4. Yes, and then we chain 1, 2 and 3, popping our single crochet in that same stitch. Alright, so now we have our 2 stitches left. The very first stitch we did was there, so you should only have, there's 1, 2 and 3, and your 4th one is these middle ones right here. So you should only have 2 stitches left. Don't stress if you have 1 extra, just pop the single crochet in there. Unless you go back and find out where your error was. But I'm going to crochet over that tail anyways. It doesn't matter, just a single crochet over the tail 1, single crochet over the tail 2, and then your 3rd one should be that stitch right there. I'm going to take this out because mine's really tight. Shh, don't tell anyone. And you're going to slip stitch at the top of that single crochet right there, pulling your loop through. Pull up a loop for your very last time. I know you're thinking, what? Really? Is it the last time? Yes, it is. Now, your job is to actually weave in these ends. But in the meantime, let me show you. We'll just, shh, hide that under there. Nobody knows. We'll turn it around so no one can see it. It's still there, look. Okay, a beautiful little placemat for your gorgeous plates or serving plates, whatever you're using your mat for. But there you go, guys. There is your Christmas set so far. We are also going to be making a serviette ring holder, so that's going to be gorgeous. And we are going to make Christmas items that we can dangle on our Christmas tree. Get excited, guys. This is not the end of our Christmas gear, but the beginning. Oh, by the way, guys, don't forget we actually are in the middle of a giveaway here at Wow Crochet, and that giveaway is for, very large giveaway for our 7,000 and 8,000 subscriber giveaway. And if you are interested in entering that I will leave a link to that in the very top link you see in the description box down below. And you need to post your answer. You need to watch the video, post your answer before 10 a.m. on the 25th of October 2020, Melbourne, Australia time, of course. And the drawing of that giveaway will be on the Sunday, the 25th of October at 4 p.m. Melbourne, Australia time. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share and all those wonderful things that you already do for me. And all I want to say right now is ciao for now.